So at the beginning of 2023, I had set a goal that I'm going to relearn or perfect my cover for Calypso Dover's intro because I had first attempted to learn that song well over 10 years ago. Before this year, I could play it, but I just could never play it as clean as I want to. You know, on the record, Eric is just super clean. You know, some people call him purist because you can pick up every single note on the record. Most importantly, when he does his famous cascading runs, it just sounds so seamless. And that's a stage of playing that I really wanted to reach. So to do that, I challenged myself to play Calypso Dover's intro every single day for 30 days straight. I documented my journey. It's linked down below if you want to check it out, but I'll summarize it for you because at the end of that journey, I did make a groundbreaking discovery, well, groundbreaking for myself because I was dumb and I never studied Eric's playing. If you study Eric's playing, then you will know that he uses a lot of economy picking to connect all of those odd number phrases together. And I never use economy picking. Now, economy picking is not something new to me. I had known economy picking many years back and I incorporated in my own playing too. I just didn't know that you can use it in pentatonic phrases that's mostly 2 notes per string. So with that concept in mind, I was able to kind of fix my playing and I did this run. Now that run, well, was good, but there's definitely a lot of areas where I can improve. And if you study my picking hand, you would definitely notice that I only use economy picking once throughout the whole song. And there's definitely way more areas where I can incorporate economy picking. So I didn't stop there and I continued playing after I made that video. It's just that I didn't play daily. And after a while, I did make more groundbreaking discovery. I found out that a lot of places where I otherwise couldn't use a down-down economy picking, if I start the phrase with an up pick, I was able to fit it in there because I'm always a down picking guy, and I noticed that when I start some of the phrases with up, I can suddenly use economy picking in there. Now with that concept in mind, I was able to make more improvement, and here's the run. Now, what do you think about that run? I think there's improvements there. You can leave in the comment and let me know. I think it is, specifically the part where we're doing the descending chromatic run. You can even see that I started from a completely different position. Now, someone might be like, it sounds kind of the same, and you will be right. Now, my goal is to get the mechanics so I can play Eric's cascading run and not just play Calypso Dover. And I know there's still a lot of improvements I can make, but instead of figuring out on my own, this time I decided to reach out to someone with more expertise. Now, in the ideal world, I'm just gonna call Eric and be like, hey, Eric, could you please show me how you play Calypso Dover's intro on the record instead of making out something new this time? We're not all Rick Beato, so we can't just do that, but I still got someone who is an absolute of an expert. Allow me to introduce you, Ray.
Hi there. I teach online guitar lessons where I teach people how to connect the pentatonic scale shifts and how to pick them fast so they create cascading runs like in the style of Eric Johnson and Joe Bonamassa.
He goes by Guitar Magic without an A on all of his social media platforms. If you haven't heard him on Instagram, he's been featured on Guitar World magazine for his Calypso Dover cover. Now, not because he can play it cleanly, because a lot of people can play just like Eric himself. It's because he's covering Calypso Dover in different musical modes. Calypso Phrygian, Calypso Mixolydian, Calypso Harmonic Minor, you name it, he's played it. He can even play cascading run down to a T. You know what? Instead of me yapping, I'll just let his own playing do the talking instead. Jesus Christ, every time I watch it play. Anyway, I had the privilege and pleasure to invite him to a little chat where we talked about Calypso Dover as well as Eric's playing style. He's happy to share his findings with us, but like a grand idiot that I am, I recorded our session without audio. So I'm going to summarize what I learned from him, but before I play that, please hit that subscribe button because I'm pretty sure you will find something valuable. Also, I will encourage you to stay till the end because at the end I'm going to play another run where I incorporate all the new things I learned from Ray, and you can be the judge and see which run is better. So right off the get-go, Ray had shared 2 rules with me that he had learned from Troy Grady, the founder of Cracking the Code. If you're a guitarist who wants to play fast, that should ring a bell to you. So rule number 1 is if it's 2 notes per string, you alternate pick. Rule number 2 is if it's odd number and if there is a string change, you down economy pick. Of course, these rules largely apply to when you're playing fast. When you're playing slow, you can pick however you want, but when you're playing fast, most of Eric's material and Eric's style of playing follow these 2 rules. And he was not kidding. Let's watch a clip of him spotting my mistake right off the beginning. So in this clip, he had asked me to play from the top, and I nervously did, and as soon as I get to the first fast lick, he had pointed his finger and said, haha, look, you're breaking the rule. It was this part. So this phrase begins with 15, 14, 12, and then on the B string, we land on the 15th fret. Now, going back to the F sharp on the high E string, which is 14th fret, we can just use a down economy picking to return right there. Now that floats very well. However, the next time you have to do that, which is from the D to E, I was staying in the pentatonic box because that's what most of the tabs shows. So that goes from 15 to 12. But that breaks the rule because we are traveling between 2 strings on odd number notes, but we're not using down economy pick. So you can see here, Ray is trying to ask me, hey, there is a more optimal way to play this, and you can also see that I'm racking my brains and then wasn't able to figure it out. So the answer is that I can play D and E all on the B string, which is 15th and 17th fret. By keeping everything on the same string, I could just alternate pick because alternate picking on the same string is a lot easier than switching between 2 strings. By using this approach, we can quickly resolve the phrase and connect to the last part where we just run the same 3 notes in the pentatonic scale and finish this part. And then comes the very first big challenging part in the intro, which is when Eric shifts up on the neck and then he does this super fast cascading downward pentatonic run. Luckily, I had spent so much time on this lick, so I didn't embarrass myself too much. But I'll show you the most optimized way to play this that's more like the record, and I'll play slowly so you can see where economy picking is being used. Now for the sake of keeping the video short, I'm going to skip the next slower part and jump to the hyper picking part. People have asked me if I have any tips on that part. I asked Ray as well. We both come to the conclusion there's not really any tips. Ray has 25 years of classical guitar playing, so it comes natural to him. For me, I just have to drill. So I don't have a tips on that, but I will still share with you what kind of drills I did to get that part down. So first thing you want to do is isolate it. Just mute the string and go through the motion slowly, especially if you never play fingerstyle and you're not used to this motion. Then you can move on to playing open chords like C right here and just target string 1 through 5. And then you can move on to a chord where you're targeting all strings. In this case, this is G. Sometimes you can even play in reverse where the pedaling note is the bass instead of the high note. Like this. So now we have arrived at the end, and after making the first video, I thought I've gotten this part down already, but no, there's always new things to learn. So the thing is that I was trying to fit economy picking right after the hyper picking segment, and that was very difficult. That's when Ray told me again, there's a different way that you can play to optimize this. And the trick is once again, keeping all the notes on the same string. To him, this is a little bit of an invade approach, and let me show you what that means. So rather than using economy picking immediately after you're done hyper picking, which is very difficult, it's much easier to just move all the notes onto one string, alternate pick everything like invade, and then just slide up 1 fret. With this approach, you will be perfectly lined up to the beginning of the final phrase, even with the up pick, which is necessary. So that pretty much sums up our session. Now let's put everything that Ray had taught me and put it together and see how it sounds. So what do you think? I think I can now confidently say that I can play Cliffs of Dover's intro. Of course, the next big challenge is to actually finish learning the song. Now, if you want to learn everything in details, book a lesson with Ray. He also has a Patreon where he has pre-recorded lessons. He has a lot of licks in Eric Johnson's style, the cascading runs, also a lot of sweeping stuff. In those lessons, he has tabs, he has video demonstration as well as slow down version, so you can really study the way that he plays. So be sure to check out Ray on all of his social media and check out his Patreon if you want to take a lesson with him. With that said, I hope I have earned a subscription from you. I hope you stick around because I have another 30 days challenge coming up pretty soon, and the sound is even crazier than Calypso Dover, I think. So I hope to see you around.